Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Lancescurv podcast. You know, it was just a matter of time before I got my hands on the report of the BET Awards 2022. And thanks to the Invisible Man, as always, for sharing this with me. I saw photos before, but I didn't really pay any mind when I see BET. But when the Invisible Man sends something to me, I better listen, okay? I better watch. So now I got this article about the BET 2022 Awards. And I'm not going to go into every detail. It's the overall right now, because it's like touching a hot stove. Like, you know it's hot. You know it's going to burn you. Why do you keep going near that hot stove and wanting to lean on it? BET, the BET Awards, all things BET is hijacked. I'm just going to tell you my perspective, my opinion, which are my personal facts until otherwise proven different. And this is not going to be a long one, but I'm going to go right on in. Now, basically in this article, they focused on the fashion of those who attended, because it's a red carpet affair, so-called. And in this, I saw some who didn't look bad. It was acceptable and decent. It was just a little too colorful for me. Maybe as I get older, I get a little more conservative, because, in the black community, fashion sometimes is cyclical, where it goes in cycles, right? Just look back to the early 70s in the so-called blaxploitation period, and you'll know what I mean. When I pull up some of those pictures when I was very young, 12, 13 years old, whatever, even younger than that, I wanted to get those marshmallows. I wanted to get those print shirts. I wanted to get those gabardine pants. Remember those little split down the side? It was like, oh, I have to have some of those. Because we were influenced by the blaxploitation movies, Soul Train, the dances that we saw. We were influenced. And it was a phase that we got into, and pretty much we got out of it because I didn't see anybody 10 years after that period wearing those things. But in 2022, it's a lot different. It's a engineered effort now between media and fashion and entertainment, politics, even religion. And why do I say that? Because those who are so-called religious leaders are silent when this is done to us as a community. And I'm speaking about the black community. Because if we're targeted this way, and we've seen freaks in other races, but they push us even harder to be at the forefront of this foolishness that's affecting the minds of our children. That's the point that I want to get on. Do what you do behind closed doors. Wear all the freakish outfits. Do all the freakish acts. Have yourself confused and doing everything that you want to do. But why are you putting this out premium for our children to see? That's what it is. So before I get into this, I want to say this. Really think about it. How us as a community, which we don't have many black communities anymore, they'll say it, but we're disjointed. We're all pulling in different directions. We're split up with the different categories, and I'm gay, or I'm a Mason, I'm an Eastern Star, I'm a Baptist, I'm poor and broke, I'm middle class, I'm light skinned, you're dark skinned, I got money, you don't have money, I got education, you don't have education. We're all split up. Well, I'm black, but I'm also Latino. You understand? I mean, look, we all are who we are. We all were raised the way we were raised, with the different categories, which should be celebrated. But as a black united front, with the things that are coming at us in general, they don't care if you're indigenous, FBA, ADOS. They don't care if you're gay or what. They don't care. They're coming for our children with this decadence. There's got to be an agreed upon standard of proper morality. But now they're going after the children 10 years and younger now. Trans kids. What the hell is a trans kid? They don't even know anything about financial maintenance. They don't have any concept of true history of who we are. They don't even have any concept of the world. But you're pushing this thing on them, programming their minds so that they can gravitate toward that when the hormones start hitting them as an option. Who's doing this? Who's behind this? This can't be by chance, but look at it this way. Let's just generalize now for the sake of making a point. Let's take everything over the year 2000 to 2022. We'll just make it even, right? We'll take it in 20-year lumps, or maybe 10 years, right? Okay, let's just take it. Okay, as far as 2000 to 2022, that's one lump. That's one thing. Why do I say that? Because 9/11 happened, Facebook, social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube happened, the marriage of the computer and the smartphone, which made things even worse. At one point, to get online, you had to come home and get on your computer. But now, when smartphones came along, because we already had cell phones, that marriage made it where you can get into your decadence anywhere now. In the street, in a line at Walmart, in the traffic jam, wherever you are. If you're bored, in the doctor's office, you have your phone, you're not bored. You're not going to look at those golf magazines that are on a little coffee table there, right? You know, but Popular Mechanics I like. So, you know, when you go to the doctor's office, you can do that. Or tennis. I'm not really into that. Make a long story short, from 2000 to 2022 has been the elevation of a higher form of decadence imposed on the minds of our children. And look at what's happening in the minds of our children. Hopefully not your children, but all of our children have been affected by this. Hopefully they know the difference between right and wrong. Hopefully they know what a line is. But we all have our rebellious periods in life, right? And what do we grab onto? You know, back in the day, you have your rebellious period. You know, women would do their hair a certain way, or you dress a certain way, rebellious to kind of get back at the power structure, your parents who may have been too strict, and you're going to do this, you're going to do that. But now, what they have to choose from to be rebellious, it's a whole different world right now. And there's an aggression now where they're going after the minds of our children. So from 2000 up, to me, we have seen the escalation of more decadence and more wicked, deprived, low morale, just filth. And this is me talking. This is me who, when I was younger, you know, I kept a harem. But my God, the media and the politicians and this whole system wasn't pushing certain things on me. I had to look for it. So where are the leaders now? Where are all these morally upright people? Where are they? You're wrong. You don't claim to be any pastor or imam or any political leader, because y'all are too scared to speak out. Even now, it is where you can't say things on a social media platform. You can't express your opinions, because if you do, they'll shut you down. I told you 2 years ago, we're entering into the age of censorship, because they know exactly what it is that they're bringing in, and we're so hooked on these social media platforms that we now can't say anything. We have to watch out for certain hate speech words that would trigger off the artificial intelligence of these social media platforms and shut us down and ban us. I've been banned a lot. Trust me, I know about being banned, you know, but I know how to play the game also. So when I say something without saying it, it's not that I'm softening up. I'd rather be here and play the game and say things in a shrewd manner that you will understand, as opposed to not being here at all. But by no means am I scared. I was never scared on social media. Even when I was in America living, I was never scared. So let's get that straight. But here's my point. From 1990 to 2000, from 1980 to 1990, from 1970 to 1980, from 1960 to 1970. Okay, why did I name out all of those decades? Between 1990 and 2000, look at the amount of decadence that was spilled over into the media. Not as much as over 2000. Look from 1980 to 1990. It was almost corny what they would have on TV compared to what they have today. And for me, that's in my lifetime. From 1970 to 1980. If anything was on Channel 13 late at night on a mature type of programming where they might have had some kind of Roman kind of I Claudius type show, and you might have seen a breast, or they might have said the B word and whatever, and the next day in school, ooh, did you see that woman's breast out? Ooh, did you hear they said the B word? They always had in the beginning, due to mature subject matter, parental discretion is advised. And if you were up late at night and folks were half asleep and the TV was still on, you're going to go in there and peek to see what it was that you couldn't see. They had a filter that they warned you. Where are the filters now? And these were on very select, well-guarded, placed on TV at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, during the middle of the week when you're supposed to be in bed to go to school. But you know, the family structure has broken down now, so anything goes. We went from sneaking to look at something like that to see a titty, or for them to say the B word and hear it, to us having our own computer as children watching all the decadent porn that we want to watch. You see how it's gotten worse? Now let's go back even further, from 1950 to 1960, for those who did own television sets. It was straight, I mean, general audience. You could have just set your child in front of the television set and you knew they weren't going to see anything that wasn't right. Just like we talk about grooming, the pedophiles who groom children, well, they are grooming us and our children. I'm talking about the media for other things down the line. So look how our children have come out now. These teenagers who are confused about so many things. I won't say it too strong because they're going to ban me, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. With what's going on now in the media, I didn't even get to BET yet. I'm so full of this, you know, I see it so clear. With what we see now and the seeds that are being planted now, what in the hell are we going to see 10 years from now? For these children who are 10 and 11 and 12 years old, say they're 12 years old watching stuff like that, that's normalcy. And this is nothing compared to what you find on social media. I mean, I go on Twitter, I see porn, and I mean, talking about inside, going in and out, sucking on this and inserting this, and 2 men going in this and 3 women doing it. Where's their filter? But they removed my Twitter account that had 32,000 people following me, that I can hit one button and reach all of them because of hate speech. And it wasn't even hate speech. But here you have on the BET Awards a woman who is praised, Summer Walker, right? I'm only going to talk about 3 of them because I can talk about all of them. This will be very long and we don't want to do that. I got other stuff to do and other content to make. Let's get right to the point. Summer Walker, they described her outfit and where it was inspired and what happened with that and why it is the way it is. And then afterward, okay, and why am I talking about her? What is it that she wore? What is it that she didn't wear? She came out in gold pasties, y'all. Her titties were out. Her titties were out. And then on the righteous side, well, you know, breasts, it's a natural thing, and, you know, breastfeeding, and we shouldn't be so much against this because the child is getting the nutrition from the breast, and there's a spiritual connection from the mother to the child. So it's natural. We shouldn't be ashamed about our bodies. But you don't see a damn Jewish woman up there like that with her titties out. You don't see awards or things going on in the Jewish community where they put their women out naked, But yet and still, they are the ones behind all this media and are collecting the money at our expense. See, they don't mind us coming out and being the beacon of filth, right? So let me tell you about the titties now, right? So, at the end of it now with her, they said, Summer Walker is a living, breathing goddess. It was not our intention to sexualize these pieces, but more of a celebration of life and the beauty of women. I understand that. But this is BET being broadcast all over the world, y'all. And little children are watching this. They don't understand this. And it's too late, whoever wrote that disclaimer, because titties have already been sexualized. So women don't have to feel bad about their breasts. No, it's a beautiful thing. It's a part of your body. The Creator made that. But in a society where that has been sexualized, you're not going to walk around like that because you know how people are thinking. Oh, shoot, it affected me. I grew up in America where every damn thing about the woman is sexualized down to her feet. Got dudes having foot fetishes. Ooh, look at her toenails and look at her feet. They're in public transportation looking down at your feet. Catching a hard on just looking at your feet. Forget about the booty and the thighs and the breasts. I grew up in that place. I understand that. This stuff was pushed on me. You have billboards looking innocent selling cars, and there's a big-breasted woman with a plunging neckline promising you something else if you buy that car subconsciously or that product. I'm not blaming women on this. It's the media and the exploitation of women, right? So now, seeing that and observing that and understanding what they're doing, and they're going to try to put a disclaimer. But I know, me personally, I'm the victim of that. When I'm growing up, I see titties, I see sex. I mean, hell, I'm a middle-aged man now, and I'm out here in Accra, Ghana, where a woman will breastfeed in public. And it's a natural thing. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm still messed up. Most men see that and they don't say it's a beautiful thing that there's nutrition going to the child and there's a spiritual connection and the woman's body is going back to normal and everything. No. People don't think that. People from America ain't thinking that. Dudes be like, yo, she got some nice titties. I'm being honest. And then you snap out of it. You're like, wait a second. I see how America has my mind messed up. And they want the world to be messed up this way in their thinking. But they try to pull a fast one on us. She's out. Nobody's looking at the outfit this woman has on. She's out there with her breasts out. Unbelievable. And what is she, a singer? So why do singers these days, if they have talent, why are you out here with your titties out? You're trying to secure a longer career or what? Why? You would never see this. You would as sexy as Lola Falana was coming up in the 70s, and you saw her show, and she wore tight outfits, and she had talent. She can act, she could sing, and if you thought something, it was because she was putting it out there more than what it was. She was a shapely woman, and you saw that. But she never had to come out somewhere with pasties on like that, now did she? Look at Diane Carroll. So beautiful. Black woman. I don't know what her breasts look like, but she's one of the timeless beauties in our community, and she's against stuff like that. You understand? Now, Lizzo. See, they flip it with Lizzo. They're exploiting a black woman who is overweight. That is the first thing you notice. No matter how good she can sing and how much of a comedian she can be, she's exploited. But you can't touch her, because if you say anything about Lizzo, you're making fun of fat women or women who are obese or overweight, and we're trying to have ourselves in a place where we don't feel bad about ourselves. We don't feel bad about being overweight. We need to embrace ourselves and love ourselves. And you know what? I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But they're slick about it. This is what they're doing. While she's out there with little thongs on, and not on the award show, but just before. We've seen these photos before. She's exploiting herself, and she's giving a message to young black girls that it's okay to be overweight. But I'm not saying that it's not okay to find yourself overweight, but don't celebrate that without thinking about your health. So we're going to have little girls out here who, Lizzo's big and they love her. Pass the cheese doodles. Pass the milkshake. Give me another slice of that chocolate cake. Go to the gym for what? All I'm going to do is sit down and watch you work out while I'm on my smartphone. So it's okay to be obese, which means that our health is going to go down, more diabetes, more heart disease, more strokes, everything, because it's okay, because Lizzo is big and she can do what she wants. We need to have a gut check. You know, I start putting on weight. I'm like, oh, I lose a little weight here. I'm putting a little too much. It's not good for my health. But that will be broken. That awareness will be broken, because now it's okay to be 500 pounds, 600 pounds and walk around. And I'm not knocking anybody who is, because we have people who have health problems. All this high fructose corn syrup and canola oil and wheat that they're making us eat. All these hormones and chemicals that are in, with the fact that we're seeing these images and it's put up as a choice for us to be, and really they're not pushing anybody else. Yeah, you have some white entertainers who do the same thing too. But we are the beta testing of all filth in society first to see how it works out. We're the minstrel men and the clowns. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I never knew this individual before, and I thought it was on first sight an overweight woman. Saucy Santana. I don't know what Saucy Santana does. And evidently Saucy Santana is somebody who's famous. Please hit me to what this person does, because I'm not even going to dig for it. I just know what I see. Saucy Santana has on an outfit that looks like it's some kind of Martian, or some neon boots or whatever, and it's a dress, y'all. Please, somebody come on this comment section and tell me that it's okay for someone who is male. I'm not saying this is not a man. And I mean, maybe it could be a woman with like sideburns. I don't know. This is about blurring the lines. This is about blurring the lines. Let me tell you something. In the black community, every day is Halloween. Every day is Halloween. And the most outrageous we can present ourselves, Massa loves it. And we try to go down to the depths to see how we can outdo one another. But let me just roll on down to this Saucy Santana. Black China's in there, and I think her outfit wasn't so bad. But because of the online drama that she's had and she's known for, they will pick her to walk out. But it's always something. Now, this thing here, I just can't understand what this thing is. And got a cross on, wearing it around their neck. And that was by design also, I can see. Right? Let me see if I can read a little bit. And they didn't mention him or her, but I assume that this is a male. I'm not going to say a man. And of course you have the pictures up here and you're seeing the pictures and everything, right? According to the stylist Instagram post on Sunday, Saucy Santana wore a yellow and green checkered blazer dress with a striking silhouette. The singer wore matching neon boots made of cascading fur. Oh God. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. They're putting this stuff out as an option. Mentally, I'm going to put this tablet down. I don't need to read no more of that. They're putting it out there as an option that in our minds that are being influenced, the young minds, right? That, well, I can do this. You know, little young cross dressers, you know, sometimes young boys will put on something that's like a joke, and then it sticks. Now they find themselves attracted to this thing. This is making it okay. Saucy Santana's wearing a dress. I want to wear a dress to school. You're going to have more, you're going to have an elementary school kid or a bunch of them start to wear dresses to school and challenge what's going on. And there's going to be a big movement behind that. They're pushing all of this stuff now. It's too late. Again, I'm not complaining about what these people do and submit to doing, because they can go and do what they want to do. But they're trying, there's an agenda. People say, oh, I've had gay guys years ago. There is no agenda. There is no agenda. Well, if I like certain things and if I like pizza and they're opening up all kind of pizza restaurants and I love pizza, I'm not going to say there's just too many pizza restaurants. There's 10 on every corner. Of course you're not going to say there's an agenda open up all, because you love pizza. So if you're a gay or one of the alphabet boys or girls or trans or whatever it is in there, and they're pushing this stuff more, you don't have to be a card carrying member. You're not going to have a problem with it, because it gives you more freedom in what you do. And it makes it easier for you to find others like you. Okay? In all of these categories, let's just say it this way. They hate when I say the God word, and I don't mean it in the European sense. I say the creator. We're created somehow. This is not by chance. Like Muhammad Ali years ago said, if you see this cup right here and you said that it just happened by chance, or this suit that you're wearing, or what I'm wearing, or the car is driving, it just popped up by chance, you said I'm crazy. But if I said the creator, if I said God made this whole thing, you look at me like I'm crazy. Right? So it's selective. We're selective in what we agree with. We have to go across the board. Across the board. It's out of hand, and it's going to continue to be out of hand. Like I said, I have my circle of influence, and I have my circle of concern. I'm concerned about this, but me as a single person, I don't influence it. All I can do is talk to you about it. Let it go where it's going. But for those who have influence over their children, this is why I always say it's important to have the mind of your children first. It's important to have the minds of your children first, because there's going to be all kind of things out there in the world looking to come after your kids. They're not coming after you anymore because we're older now. Our time is almost up. We're older now. We don't count. Don't go after them anymore. We don't need to fight with these older folks. Go after their children and we'll have them. It's like that piece that I wrote of the homosexual agenda, right? And I read it out. And many people saw it, but some didn't like it. Oh, you made that up. It was almost like the homosexual Willie Lynch letter. You know, how they're coming after us and how to conquer and divide us and have us pushed into this thing. Well, it's already here. And it's already been here for the last 40 or 50 years in the political realm, right? They gave the AOK on that back in 1973 when they took that particular state of being from being a mental sickness to it being all right. And now they're pushing it. A heterosexual family, a father, a mother, the children, little dog on the side if you want one, little cat, whatever. That is not to be in their mind. That is an insult. Many see that as an insult. You have to insert this other thing in it. Am I hating on you if you're in that? No, I don't hate you. I pity you. I feel sorry for you. But don't come after mine, because now we got a problem. Because I see it so clear. Just like that trajectory I brought up with the decades. What are we going to see in the next 10 years? You have a young woman with her breasts out in an award show. You have a dude with sideburns and a dress and some space boots, some old neon space boots or whatever, and a cross. So for those who are Christian, do you agree with this? And like I said earlier before, these religious leaders who talk all this smack, but you're afraid to lose that status, so you don't say anything about it at all, and I'll just have to lose my status. And the congregation who's with me is not about that. Hey, if I was a pastor, I'd talk about it. Take my status, take my church. I'll go up under a tree somewhere and talk to the few who understand what we need to do to undergird and protect the future of our children and our society. That's a society I don't need. Many people ask me, oh, do you miss America? I don't miss America and the foolishness that is going on with the people there that I love, that I'm close to, that I grew up with, that I have some kind of connection to. I miss them, the proximity to them. But I don't miss this place that is the modern day Babylon, y'all. It's the modern day Babylon. Can't you see it? You're like that frog or that lobster that's sitting in the water. That's cool now, but there's a fire under it and it's burning slowly and it's getting warm a little bit at a time. And every stage up that it gets, you don't feel it because you're being indoctrinated with this ever increasing heat put on you, and you're just relaxing, not knowing what's happening to you. So many of us who claim to be morally upright, doesn't mean you have to get a bullhorn and go in the corner and you know, the world is ending and be that nut. But we need to use our channels. And it doesn't mean YouTube channels. I'm talking about our everyday life to have discussions. It doesn't have to be a rant. But they need to see us stand up against this foolishness. Or if you don't want to do it, let them take your kids. Let them turn your kids out, inside out. Look, like I told you, one day I was driving the bus. When I drove the bus in Orlando, Florida. And there were 3 girls sitting in the back. And I know one was 12 and the other 2 were 13. I knew their parents, and you know, I would talk to the parents sometime, and they were over the months they were like, "Oh yeah, my daughter there, she's 12 and her friends there 13." I knew this, so I kept a special eye open for all kids, but especially theirs because I knew the parents. And they were in the back talking about, I'm going to say it raw, y'all. No, I'm not going to say it raw. They were in the back talking about advanced oral sex techniques. Advanced, not just like, okay, just doing it. They were talking about the advanced oral sex techniques, deep into it. And I believe 2 of them, the 2 13-year-olds had boyfriends. Not some little, I'm going to give you my ring, and we kissed real quick. Our lips touched, maybe a little tongue. Hey, that's my girlfriend. Innocent like that. Not even anything else. Right? Then you're talking to the next person and they want to break up. The innocent stuff from that I know from back in the 70s. Those 2 13-year-olds, and the 12-year-old was in the conversation too now. She was doing something. But the 13-year-olds were talking about those techniques and how they learned it from watching porn. And how they, or the parents, don't know what they're doing. And one had a boyfriend who was 28, and the other one had a boyfriend who was 39. These guys are pedophiles, y'all. And a lot of these young girls who in their rebellious period, because they know these things now to do that they latch on to, or they're just out of their mind. I informed their parents, yes I did, you're supposed to do stuff like that. This is what I heard. Now we have neighbors and children in the community. We hear things, oh, that's not my child. But they were talking about the visuals when performing the act. One of them was a little more developed in her chest area. I wasn't looking at them that way, but I had to look and see what they were talking about. And when you wear the thing to push up your boobies and you let them see the boobies when you're sucking on them, and you wear something short and you moan and you roll your eyes up in your head like you really love it and whatnot, and it drives them crazy. You play with their nipples when you're doing it, it drives them crazy. I'm like, what the hell? There are women who are 4 times the age of these 13-year-old girls and the 12-year-old who don't even know certain things to do to a man in the bedroom. And those older boyfriends, 28 and 39 years old, were taking them to the mall and not really taking them like, I'm going to come by your house and say hi to your mother and pick you up and bring you down to the mall. No. They'll meet them there, and when they're in there walking, they ain't walking too close together because homeboy knows what it looks like and the young girl knows what's going on also. So they play the game. They might even sit at 2 different tables that are close to each other when they're eating, so nobody can say they saw this young girl with this grown man and take a picture and that's it. No, they had it down. They were talking about like, whoa, y'all advanced with this thing. And they give him a little money, give him a little fast food, buy him a little outfit or something like that. Take him to the movies. You go in first, I'll go and sit next to you or behind you or 2 seats over from you, but we're in the corner though. And these things are going on. If you don't believe it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm out there all the time when I was in America driving and working in the jail, working in a prison, doing this, doing that, just life in general. I've always been blessed. I won't call it a curse, but it was always a blessing to be able to see what was going on out in the world. And I've been talking this stuff long before I even came to social media. I saw it from way back then. I can't believe that you all are like the frog in the ever-increasing temperature of the pot with water, not seeing this trajectory that's going on. If you're mad at me for pointing that out, then don't even come back anymore. Unsubscribe. YouTube's taking my subscribers anyway. I don't care at this point. My work is almost done. I'm just enjoying life. But in this phase of life, I'm just not even going to have any breaks anymore. I'm just going to get right into it and speak my mind whether you like it or not. I'm not out of here to be liked anyway. I was never a person, oh, I better do this so I can be liked. And I can be liked. And that's why they chose that word like. With a thumbs up. We all want to be liked, like me, like, share, and subscribe. I say that if you do, to remind you. But right now, I don't really give a damn. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm where I want to be, and I do what I want to do, and I don't have to ask anybody any permission to do the things that I want to do. So what do I care? I'm just going to tell it to you and serve it up to you raw. Bold, raw, and uncut, as I've always done. This world, our black community, our black neighborhoods, our black, I can't even say community, because we're so disjointed. We're done, y'all. We're finished. Unless you step up to fight back at this foolishness inflicted on our children, and you as adults who think you can just be quiet and let it go by and it'll go away, it's not going away. It's not going away. It's going to get worse, and it's going to continue to get worse. And this was a big setup, because they want us wiped off the face of the earth, and they're going to have us doing it. Not through if not through the birth control and this stuff put up so that we can like and want to be anything we want to be, and this demonic behavior. Look at the spiritual element to this thing, right? Just totally against all things righteous and right in the order. Everything in nature deals on the principle of male and female. And this thing is trying to destroy us. It hates us. This is something that is not even human that we're dealing with. But they're very much against the natural order. It's demonic. It's evil. It is what it is. And look at what we've allowed ourselves to become for a little more fame, an extra paycheck, a guarantee to stay up on top a little longer. Because that entertainment Hollywood world will chew you up and spit you out, and it's on to the next one. And whatever it is that you're doing right now that's shocking, trust me, there's somebody on the sidelines, like in baseball, or he's about to hit the ball, he's up, there's somebody else on deck. There's somebody else on deck waiting to take your position, that's willing to do even worse, to lead our people into ignorance, even more so, decadence, and ultimately death on a mental, physical, and spiritual level. We're lost, y'all. I can't say that we have more time. I think now that we're past the time, the majority of us are lost and gone and will just die off, right? But we have a few who understand we need to reach out to each other and hold on tight with each other and create these communities that we need to have to bring up our children upright, proper, in a world that's hung up on decadence. I have nothing further, y'all. It's done. After this, and we can sit there silent and not talk about it. That's what. Look in the comment section of these particular articles. Nobody says anything against it, and if you do, they take it down. Oh, you're hating. You see how they turned it around? You see that? The little rainbow stickers on the bumper stickers on the back of the car. Love. You can't tell me this is not love. Unless you're doing anal sex with a woman, ain't no reason why there's supposed to be no doodle on the end of your penis after you finish putting it in something. Yeah, I said it. But we're not allowed to say it. So somebody's gonna not gonna like it. I want to report them. It's hate speech. So I'm supposed to be afraid of you, you damn demon, with all this decadence, and you agree with this stuff. I don't even care about you. You gonna hate me anyway. I'm talking about these so-called black leaders. Listen, Minister Farrakhan, where are you? I know you're older now. You my man. I love you. I play your song at the end of every show. But I'm not hearing from you no more. Now, you've talked about all this stuff, but we need to be specific and address these things, because you're still putting out content on the internet. These other clowns that are out here, they're with it. Al Sharpton ain't gonna say nothing. He's no leader anyway. I don't know how they took a clown who wore wires for the government and worked along with the mafia and all this stuff, and now they have him up here exalted this way. You better know what you're looking at. Al Sharpton is the biggest LGBTQ person that you ever want to see, but the world doesn't know that. Them girlfriends he had, wife he had, or whatever have you, he ain't into that. Why don't we talk about it? Why are we afraid to talk about these things? And all these other people who are coming out. You're not the children, man. I don't care if you gay or whatever in the rainbow, but the children now, the children, because really they push the next thing is pedophilia. That's next on deck. And behind that, who's going to go to bat? Bestiality. I'm telling you right now, I might be dead when you hear this, right? But the LGBTQ thing came in, and black folks were like, believing that lie. Oh, it's a struggle that we have is similar to yours. They ain't following behind nobody to come and help you out now, black community. Oh, but you can jump for them, but they won't jump for you. And they in power, they in position, they got big power. Trust me. So, to heck with all of this, I'm talking about the black people who should open their mouth and they stay quiet and they're scared. Anybody who is black who has any modicum of influence, why are you so silent? While every day in the black community is looking like Halloween. Salute to my brothers, much love to my sisters. I love you all. Thank you for lasting to this point in the video. I didn't even intend for it to be this long, but you know me. I start going off and it just keeps going. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear your perspectives. I want to have longer shows where we call in and talk about these things on Lancescurv.com, because they're not going to allow me to have subjects like this on YouTube. Let's see. Let's talk about it. We have to first start the conversation, and then we can build from there. Much love to you all. Take care. I'm on to the next one. Peace.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at Lancescurv.com and follow SCURV on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under Lancescurv.